Hello, Dumaguete.
Hello, Negros Oriental.
Hello, Sillimanians around the world.
This is Joshua Soldivillo.
And this is Ronelyn Vailoces-Not.
And you're watching Silliman.
Good evening, everyone. This is a magazine program that talks about different aspects of Silliman University.
A program initiated to discuss different matters concerning the campus by the sea. You're watching Silliman. Hey there, Sillimanians and friends of Silliman around the world. Thank you so much for joining another episode of Silliman. We thank you for making us as your Monday night company. And of course, Ron, to all our subscribers on YouTube, on Facebook, they're also streaming available for you guys. Thank you very much. And of course, Ron, we are now on the last week of the month of April, and of course, we look forward to the long weekend na naman, Ron.
Yes,
So
that
that's
will be on 29th.
hanggang May 1.
May 1.
Yes, long weekend. That means that we just have to book our tickets or book the resorts, ano ba yan? Or perhaps make assignments. Or catch up with your laboratory activities, because for tonight's episode, friends, we are joined by our occupants of the science complex, and two of them are here, our biology department representatives, and of course from the chemistry department. And allow me to introduce first our faculty members and chairpersons joining us tonight. From the biology department, we have Dr. Nadia Abesamis. Dr. Nadia, good evening and welcome to the program.
Good evening and hello to everyone watching.
Okay. From the study of life, let's go to another study. I don't know, ano ba yung study ng chemistry?
Chemicals.
Study of chemicals.
I really don't know.
From the study of life to the study of chemicals, he will correct us, Ron.
Yeah.
We have the chairperson of the chemistry department. We have Dr. Jonathan Paa. Dr. Paa, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
First question, Doc, muna. What
Tama
is...
ba yun?
tama
Study
ba
of
yun?
chemicals. Pwede
What
din.
is
It's
chemistry?
actually study of the properties of matter.
Ayun,
Property.
properties of
Yun.
matter.
And
Okay.
and the other and transformation, including transformation of matter.
Okay, sige, mag-nosebleed na tayo ng little while. Ron, please introduce our students.
Yes, and to represent the student body, we have here two students from both the biology and chemistry department. Let me introduce a third-year chemistry student, Jake Oyales.
Yes, well,
Hello and welcome to Silliman, Jake. And we also have here MC G. Parao, second-year biology student.
Yes,
Hello,
it's a
MC.
pleasure to be here and thank
Yes.
you for
Okay.
everyone who's watching.
Alright. Sige. Welcome, of course, si JC naka-attire pa talaga.
Yes,
Ah,
parang
siguro.
ready to dissect me.
Hindi chemistry. So
Chemistry.
siguro
Yes.
galing siya sa laboratory.
Yes.
Oo. Okay. Anyway, welcome, and of course, thank you so much for inserting us in your busy schedules. Let us begin our conversation with common misconceptions about the sciences, because one would say that science is for the mga bright lang yan.
Yeah,
no?
intelligent
Or
people,
science
gifted.
is ang hirap ng science, no? Or maybe they would say that science is also expensive, or
Yeah.
science is for for those who are just into research, into writing, no? So let us know the truth and debunk some misconceptions about the sciences. So let's start with our students, Ron. Jace, when you enrolled BS Chemistry, ano ba yung mga misconceptions about the course? They would say, basig magamarabog sabon, or something
alcohol,
like alcohol.
Which is very useful during the pandemic.
True.
Diba?
Okay.
honestly, when I was searching for a course to enter in college, I did not know about BS Chemistry.
Oh,
And I
interesting.
did not know that BS Chemistry is the course for chemists. So I just searched the website, searched for courses, then I just picked one course. And among those courses, I just looked at BS Chemistry and said, maybe this sounds nice, so I just chose BS Chemistry.
Nice.
So yung ibang may misconception, yung appeal ng kay JC, it sounds nice.
Yeah.
How about you, MC? Are there misconceptions about biology, being a BS biology student?
Yeah, it started when I was in grade 11.
Okay.
Yes, in senior high. I was very amazed how complex and interrelated things are from chemistry to physics to geography, everything. And so I told my mom, like, is it okay if I'll have BS biology as a course? And she's in doubt with it. And so she's like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna be selling fish? Because you're gonna be dissecting fish. And then it's fish is like, you know,
Yeah.
it's theology, something like that. And so, yeah, and for my community, they always perceive BS biology like for them, there's not a clear vision of which career pathway you'll be having. It's like there's no salary, they said, something like that. And
Yeah.
then
It's not a luxurious field.
yeah, it's like
as
so
perceived by-
geeky, so nerdy. It's like you have your own weird little bubble. It's like it's a little bit, you know, insulting, but you know, I know the truth and I know how exciting to be studying this kind of field.
So that's a common misconception.
Yes.
Alright. So let's hear from the chairpersons. Meron bang mga misconceptions, sir? Let's start with Sir Pa.
Yeah, before I always heard this comments that chemistry is very hard and chemistry students or teachers are weird. But 25 years in teaching chemistry in college, I really find this subject a very interesting, not only because of its applications, but presenting theories that are of value to human lives.
Yeah.
It's actually very intriguing. And I actually also a graduate of BS Biology.
Oh.
in Silliman. I didn't know that. Yes. But it is, actually I started with biology and I love biology. I just want to relate, let's say for example, how plants assimilate heavy metals. So when I studied chemistry, I then realized that there's a mechanism involved in it. So I appreciate both the sciences,
Yes,
biology,
and chemistry. Yan. So for Dr. Pa, both sciences are very much useful, intriguing yung word niya, and interesting. Okay. About from Dr. Nadia to hear also that you end up selling fish.
Marami. Well, one of the first misconceptions is that there's only two careers if you enter biology. Either you're proceeding to medicine, which is the
Right.
common,
Yeah.
or you'll be a teacher, which is, I am a teacher, which is true. But actually, biology, you have biologists in almost all industries. We're all biologists. When we take medicine or eat something that affects our body, that's biology. You know, when we're, reproducing, when we're growing, biology is everywhere. And
Gusto ko yung reproducing. You're a biologist.
reproducing, like new skin
Reproducing.
cells.
You're a biologist,
Oo.
no?
I mean, people don't realize that biology can be in any career. When we take care of ourselves, our bodies, that you're doing biology.
So, kumbaga it's present in different aspects of our lives.
yes, hindi lang siya either benta kang
Pre-med.
isda, pre-med, or teacher. So,
Right.
Yeah, it was quite interesting that you mentioned the career opportunities for biology. Now let's talk about what are the things that our graduates might go into
Pursue.
or might pursue when they graduate from biology and chemistry, because Dr. Abesamis mentioned about being a teacher and being a doctor, and what else are there, and also for chemistry. What are the career opportunities? Let's start with Dr. Pa.
Well, chemistry is vital to public safety, caring our environment, and economy. This is also the reason why chemistry is under Republic Act 10657. It's a regulated profession. We call that act as Chemistry Profession Act. So it's vital to public health, as already mentioned. So thus, there are many areas and many disciplines requiring chemistry. For example, in engineering, you still need chemistry for material science.
Right.
For monitoring the environment, you need chemistry to analyze the levels of heavy metals, which are actually very toxic to humans. And a lot, geology, the monitoring of volcanic eruptions, weather patterns. That's actually that involves principles of chemistry. So there's a lot. Sometimes we call chemistry a central science. I think you have the textbook before, Josh.
But it argues that physics is the central science.
Biology, chemistry,
May
physics.
physics.
But anyway,
Yeah.
some textbook would say that,
Central.
it's a central science. So there are a lot of multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, transdisciplinary approaches there. So one could be, they could work with in the geology.
Actually, we have
engineering.
graduates, medicine, they can proceed to medicine.
It's also a good
They
pre-med.
go into research also. And of course, I don't know if this is the last option, teaching.
Teaching.
But teaching is really the best. For me, as I worked with industry before, with PNOC, I really find teaching a very
Rewarding
profession.
So, Dr. Pa, because I'm just interested, Ron, because in the, like for example, in the police laboratory,
Yes.
they have this test. So are
Forensic.
forensic.
Yes.
Are chemists also involved in this, sir?
Yes, in fact, we have students working with PIDEA,
Wow.
with PNP, and thanks to our teachers because there are now more chemistry graduates working with PIDEA.
PIDEA. How about for business ventures, sir? Can a chemist also like create something?
Yeah, like for example, eyeglasses.
Ah, okay.
You change the color, you change the index of refraction by synthesizing films of organic materials. So it's a lot of engineering. It's chemistry still.
Ayan. So parang lahat, Ron.
So before we
So
know
it's
it,
central
the
again.
things that we are using is actually a product of chemistry.
Chemistry, our cells, the air that we breathe. Ano ba yan? Okay. How about for biology, ma'am? What are the career paths that our graduates may take?
So again, so besides medicine,
Pre-med.
you have. I can siguro give an example on my part. So
Yeah.
I graduated BS Biology, but I specialized in marine biology eventually. So my first job was in a conservation organization.
Wow.
So I worked with environmental groups and local governments around the Philippines for marine conservation. So that's one, no, environmental work, conservation work. But then I decided to take further graduate studies and I went into research. So I was working on projects with the government, doing research on invertebrates, mga shrimps, mollusks. But from that, then yun nga, the call of teaching, because you want to share your knowledge, no? So that's when I went into teaching, but I still do research. So that's one. But we have graduates who they can go into the fields of agriculture. So whether it's farming for terrestrial crops or aquaculture. So we have some graduates who are working in mga private fishery companies based in like Palawan, mga pearl farms, shellfish farms, or seaweed farms in Mindanao. We also have graduates. We have a graduate who is one of the top officers in the Coast Guard in Manila.
Oh.
She came back a few years ago trying to recruit because the Coast Guard has a microbiology monitoring lab. Kasi they're the
Wow.
ones
I just learned
monitoring
that,
monitoring the coasts. So she needs more microbiologists and biologists to join them because they have funds to do that, to monitor the coastal health, no? So mga plankton, bacteria. Pero Coast Guard siya, she's
Yeah.
an officer. So ganun ka-vary.
So it's not limited, Dr. Abesamis. It's a
Definitely not.
very wide
Yes.
opportunities for our graduates.
So they are everywhere.
Everywhere. And at the same time, you can be very flexible, right? Now, let's go to our students, Ron. We have JC and MC. Ay, rhyming pala, no? JC and MC. Okay. Okay. May love team na.
Yes.
Sige. Mamaya natin gawa silang love team. But let's ask about their love for the field that they have chosen, biology and chemistry. JC, what is the motivation? Because earlier you said that you just met it online. But of course, there must be like an influence. Maybe your parents are into the sciences, or maybe you're into these sci-fi movies, or maybe you have this dream or a vision.
As I said, when I entered college, I only searched for courses, picked one, and that's it.
So ko yun. Ano na lang. Mag-raffle na lang ano bang gusto.
Yes. I wasn't still sure of what I wanted to do with my life back when I was in first year.
Okay.
Yes, so it just so happens that when I chose chemistry, it somehow is the right choice pala.
You found chemistry. Chemistry.
Yes, the thing is, chemistry is applied in various fields.
Correct.
I'd like you to look around and think of something that is not made up of a chemical. So I don't think you can think of one because
Light.
almost everything that you can see, or if not everything that you can see, is made up of chemicals. So this means that you can basically enter in various fields since everything needs chemistry. Cosmetics, medicine, materials, they need chemistry. They need us to make these things or to tweak things. For example, maybe you want a glass that is made up of wood. So I'd like you to imagine a glass such as whatever glass panels you can see, but they are made up of wood. So that's also possible through chemistry because we can tweak things, we can tweak materials at a molecular level.
Right.
So what I like about chemistry is I can explore various fields because I know that I am inquisitive and I like to explore the field of the academe. So basically, if you're curious and you are not still so sure about where you want to go in life, I think chemistry is a good field for you because you can explore many things.
Already advertising for chemistry department.
Diba? Yung story ni JC is that you just tried and then
I can really feel his passion.
parang
For
there's
all
this
chemicals.
inquisitiveness.
Yes,
no?
for example, at me go for my research, I am venturing into nanoparticles.
Wow,
Yes.
nanoparticles.
Yes, nanoparticles, and
You lost me at that.
Times 10 to the power of negative 9.
for now, I was thinking of using nanoparticles in medicine, such as a detector or a diagnostic test for, let's say, dengue mRNA. But what if soon I've decided that I want to go to electronics? Nanoparticles can also
Still
be applied.
applicable.
Yes. So basically, if you know the foundation, the basics of chemistry, you can go anywhere.
You can go
Yeah, it's
anywhere.
very flexible. That's something that I like about chemistry.
So now
also.
let's go to MC. Okay, because MC, how did you also, what's your story about being a BS, landing at the BS Biology department?
When I was a kid, I was dreaming of having to be in that path, which is the medical path. But I feel like it's so human. Like
It's so human.
it's like so human.
Let's qualify that.
It's like, okay, I'm gonna be a vet because it's a little bit like animals, but you know, I
okay.
like plants.
It's so animal.
It's so animal.
But then I like plants, so I was like, okay, so first thing is that you need to have that intrinsic factor, which
Okay.
you need to know what you want, you need to know what you love, you need to know what makes you happy. And for me, the nature, animals, everything just makes me happy.
Ayun.
And the second one is like, because I am a young lady and women are not really, they said they're not into that, but I know a lot of women who's into science,
yeah.
like Ma'am Nadia is like, so
you want
know,
to represent
yeah,
more.
and they always have this like anti-Beispiel. So you know, Beispiel is like a German word, so like you don't have any examples.
Yes.
But for me, I always like look into, it's not just internet, but like look into role models, because you need to be a role model. You need to have role models to make yourself a role model.
And you want to be part of that
Yeah.
list someday.
And biology, it's just like chemistry. It's like biology is also everything from
May entry ka din
evolution.
kasi si JC may entry siya on nanotechnology.
It's from evolution to medical field
Evolution
to
yung entry
anything. It's like from ocean to terrestrial, something like that.
Wow.
So yeah, and if you want to know more about biology, then yeah, be part in our
Advertising.
biology family.
Ron
I
and
really like this,
Yes.
these guests for tonight.
because you can go wherever you want to go with biology and chemistry. But for now, we're going to take a short break. Don't go anywhere. We will be back. Stay with us. #Silliman will return. Welcome back. You're still watching Silliman. And of course, we're still with our science complex buddies from the first floor and the second floor. Dr. Paa, we have observed that at the first floor, the chemistry department, you have transformation going on with your laboratory, you have new equipment. So tell us more about this.
Yeah, the concept of coming up with glass walls is to get rid of this idea that chemistry is dangerous. Yes, there is danger in it, but there's actually more interesting things to be done in the chemical laboratory. So thus we presented, part of our renovation is to come up with a glass wall so that aside from safety, of course, number one is safety. You can see, for example, one student is performing an experiment and there are explosions or fires, anybody outside the laboratory can easily see it. And that is also a CHED, it's part of the requirements.
Being a CHED compliant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then we also have new instrumentations, high-end instruments, so we can start with basic research. We have, from spectroscopy, we have FTIR, Fourier transform infrared spectroscopy.
What does it do, sir?
There are many applications for that instrument. You can determine the functional groups, and thus we use it in drug development or synthesis. That's organic chemistry. Basically, it's organic chemistry, but with wide applications. Perhaps you can use it for detecting drugs.
So that's one, no?
Yeah, that's one. Another is possibly detecting impurities in, let's say, for example, sugar. If sugar is being tampered, I'm talking about public safety. So that's actually one. We also have atomic emission spectroscopy. It is based on plasma, which is the new technology in spectroscopy for analyzing different elements, and that's for environmental monitoring. We also have UVVs. I hope we can in tandem work with pharmacy, the pharmacy group, for drug development also. Then we also have HPLC. Hopefully this year we can acquire a voltammetric instrumentation, which is required as stipulated in the CMO for electrochemical characterization. And then also we are, for this year, we will be refurbishing our research laboratories, both for the faculty and students, in preparation for our offering of the MS Chemistry program.
How many senior students do you have right now, sir?
There are
I think 7, sir.
8.
7.
Yeah.
What's what?
How many of them
I
will
think
be
it's 8,
graduating?
including the
7 to 8 seniors.
Yes.
And then for the first year?
first year we have, before it was 21.
21.
Then I think we have, Jake, we have 18.
I think 18, sir.
Yeah,
18. So may elimination round.
From 18.
But
Then third year we have Jake's batch. We have 15.
Ayan, that's quite a big group.
Yeah,
na, no?
we're actually
21.
increasing. Maybe because of chemistry. The country is booming, and chemistry is indeed
In demand.
in demand.
And relevant nowadays.
In fact, companies are calling us for chemists.
How about for the bio group, ma'am?
Well, for the biology, so we have several laboratories at the department, at least 9 or 10, which is based on the requirement of CHED as well. So we're compliant with that, from animal physiology to comparative vertebrate anatomy, etc. But our most recent laboratories are the cell and molecular biology laboratory.
And what does
And
also...
genetics. So that one, we got it a few years ago, but we plan to modernize it to make it bigger using a government grant, hopefully starting this year. That's used for a lot of, right now, because genomics, genetic engineering, and that's actually a big, hindi naman trending, but it's a major tool now used for diagnostics, for identifying species or pollutants, etc., bacteria. So the cell and molecular laboratories are used for that kind of research. It's actually, I think Silliman is the only one that has a cell and molecular laboratory in Negros Oriental. So we also have an extension service of providing trainings for faculty from other universities. So that's why we're also hoping to expand it in the next 3 years and modernize it, kasi that's one of our extension services, to provide training
Yes.
to help
Being
other
a center
schools
of development.
a
Yes.
CHED center of
Ang
development.
galing naman ron, no? Like we have equipment and then only one in the province and a center of development for biology.
That's true, just there's a lot of progress and developments going on with our biology and chemistry department. Now, this might sound like a quiz question, no? But
Scientific names ba ito?
but we really ask students, for JC and MC, what are the concepts that you've learned so far from your fields that you can relate or that you can use as you approach life, or that you can relate to life?
Maybe you can start with MC.
Can I just answer with one word?
Sige.
Yeah.
Adaptable.
Adaptation.
Yeah.
Adaptation.
It's
So
like-
how do you connect it? How do you relate it? How do you use it?
How do you
as
become
approach
adaptable
life?
or adaptive?
in Darwin's theory about evolution, everything evolved because they adapt from the start of life that was starting in a small puddle like water, and then having these limbs, and then now they could fly. So it's like being in a journey of life where you're starting from a struggle as a student or as an individual, or maybe in your professional life. So you struggle, you kind of have that plateau moment where, okay, everything's chill, everything will be perfect. It's either we're going to go down on a cliff or we're going to climb onto the mountain. And then you're going to end up where you want to be. But being adaptable or adapting to new things, adapting to new environment, you should always have another word, which is resilient. So yeah, for me, that would be
Adaptation.
Yes.
So for you to, or for a species to evolve or survive, one must have this adaptability, and one can adapt through resilience.
Yes.
How about JC?
As I'm about to graduate college, I began to realize that I am actually growing older. And that means
Hindi naman, Jace. Grabe naman.
JC,
Huwag naman
ano ba?
pag-usapan yung edad. Let's not talk about age.
but seriously, I realize that I'm becoming older, and that means I have to be more concerned about my lifestyle, specifically especially my diet. In chemistry, we don't just deal with the chemicals that we see here, the things, the materials, but we also discuss chemicals that happen inside our bodies, specifically biochemistry.
Yeah.
We have a joke in class which goes, after you took biochemistry 1, food will never be the same again. Because you don't anymore look at food as food. You can already see the chemistry
As a molecule.
as like
I
fast
think I need to
sugar.
enroll in that.
Yeah, so basically, you understand what you're eating, so you know how much you should eat. And you can also tweak your diet because you understand what you're eating.
Ayun.
So I think that's a very practical application, especially for those people who are concerned with their health.
In biochemistry.
Yeah, biochemistry.
Ayun. So, we are actually very impressed, Ron, no, that they are able to bring these concepts into their daily living. You know, adaptation, up to the diet, no, mga fats and lipids and everything. Shout out to our doctors for the lipids.
Sugar.
Cholesterol, di ba? And the sugar. But this just goes to show that they are really having this authentic learning. No?
Yeah.
They are able to relate it to life. Now, we are running out of time actually, but let's talk about the enrollment protocols for each department. Are you strand specific? Do you only welcome STEAM students? What are the requirements when they enroll? And of course, what are the other things that you want to share to our audience, especially our grade 12 senior high school students? Sir Pat?
Okay. Before, we allow students to enroll even if they are not a STEM or STEAM for Silliman. But we realized that they really have to be STEM
From STEM
graduates
track.
sa grade 12 because they have there are lots of sciences like physics and biology and math.
So that's one. If they have to be from STEM, grade cutoff, sir.
Grade cutoff is 85,
85.
but we allow 80%. But for the first semester, they will be considered as
On probation.
On probation.
Ayun. Okay. Do you have entrance exam, interviews?
We don't have entrance exam. We are proposing an interview next year.
Next year.
Yeah, we will be conducting interviews.
Ayun.
Next
Would
year.
you like to share your contact details, sir? What's the number to call? Do you have emails?
I didn't memorize the number.
But they
we
can
can
check
just
that
post it
in the
on-
website.
On the website.
That's su.edu.ph. Anything else you'd like to share, sir, to our future
Yeah.
BS Chemistry students?
Yeah, especially for the grade 12 students, you really have to enroll the sciences, not only chemistry, also with biology, because science and technology are frontiers of national development. We don't have to improve ourselves. We have to improve not only ourselves, but the lives of others as well.
Yeah.
So we have to enroll in the sciences again, because these are frontiers of national
Gusto ko yung
development.
frontiers. Pwede maging spokesperson si Sir Parao sa science on the frontiers of the country. Okay, thank you so much, sir. Ma'am Nadia.
Okay, for the biology department, we take both STEM track and non-STEM. For non-STEM, they need to take augmentation subjects, depending on
Are they like bridging courses?
bridging courses in biology, chemistry, and I think physics and math, depending on their track. And then there's a grade cutoff of 80, no grade below 80 for science and math subjects. But we have to look at their transcripts because we also do probation status. And they have to get at least 85 and above in their first semester for all their subjects. So,
Do you have interviews, ma'am? Do you have entrance examinations?
no interviews or entrance exams. However, I just like to share that for the biology department, for the BS biology program, we have 3 tracks. So once they reach the 3rd year, they have to decide if they want to do a medical track, a microbiology track,
Wow.
or a terrestrial or aquatic biology
nice.
track. So we can tailor their electives
Yes.
to help them specialize along those
Wonderful.
tracks. So.
Right. Do you have also graduate programs, ma'am?
Yes,
Maybe
we also
ma'am
have a
interested.
master's in biology, and we'd like to invite those who'd like to do graduate studies with us. Our strengths are really in the terrestrial and freshwater biodiversity conservation, as well as we're building our genetics and cell and molecular biology, because we have new faculty who's a
Wow.
PhD in cell and molecular biology in Japan. So that's one of our strengths now for our graduate.
Wonderful. Dr. Paa, do you have a graduate program?
We are proposing to offer an MS chemistry program. By the way, I forgot something.
Yes.
The BS chemistry program under the CHED's CMO is a ladderized program. So students finishing the first 2 years, first year, second year, and having 30 units in chemistry can actually take the national examination for chemical technicians.
Ayun.
So they have options now to work because, again, chemists and chemical technicians are in demand. And if you want, of course, we are encouraging students to complete the 4-year program, that they can be chemists. And after the BS chemistry program, they can actually proceed further to medicine. I also forgot something. We have a visitor last week from BSP, Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, who is also a chemist.
Banker.
So widen ang
Yes.
opportunities.
No, even sa businesses or sa sa monetary field, no.
Okay. All right. So we are very thankful, guys. Thank you so much, JC, MC. So, of course, Ron, our final question is, given that you are in the sciences, no? So we will ask them, Ron, that if they were to invent something
Yeah.
to change the world, or I don't know, for whatever purpose, what would it be and why? Okay. Let us start with JC.
I think I just want to make medicines cheaper and diagnostic tests cheaper.
Ayan, medicine. No? That
Yes.
perhaps can cure anything. Medicine, cheaper medicine.
Yes, cheaper medicine. So probably have to explore a lot
Yes.
of things, study a lot of things,
Okay.
and just think of how could I make medicines and diagnostic tests cheaper.
Okay, thank you, Jace. How about you, MC?
It would be a little bit too big, but I think we should be in that place in that point where science and ethics should be integrated, like less animal testing, have more respect to our nature, more respect to our animals, and just be organic, something like that.
Okay, so framework yung ano niya,
Okay.
ini-invent niya policy. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much. How about you? Of course,
Nag-iisip pa ako.
we'll not let them go
Sir
without
Pa.
Yes,
that.
of course.
Sir Pa, ikaw muna.
Sige, Sir Pa.
Nahirapan ako.
To continue my dissertation in Ateneo, I think I have to work with solar cells because electric bills are really such a joke.
That's true.
So we have to come up with our own
Yun.
source of energy.
Much
which
more
of course,
affordable.
affordable, and of course the fabrication I think is also
Ayun.
for the
Sige.
start medyo it's expensive, but I
Oo.
think
Especially
for the
nowadays
long run.
na ang init. Oo, we need more
energy.
energy. Okay. Thank you so much, sir. How about Ma'am Nadia?
Sige, nahirapan ako because there seem to be so many things I want to invent. But
Only
maybe
one,
I'll
ma'am.
just
Only
choose
one.
one. It would be something that would completely remove plastics, but replace its function. That's totally not like detrimental to the
Yeah.
environment.
So
Pero
alternative
I-
to plastic.
Oo, pero ewan ko kung meron ba nun.
Well, that's a dream invention, and maybe JC and MC are going to unlock that for us. Thank you very much once again. Let's give them a hand. Wonderful, wonderful time with our science complex occupants, as I call them. And we have now come to the last segment of the show. It's called #WTP or Word to Ponder. Ron, what's the word that you've picked? Very shortly.
Yeah, curiosity, Josh.
Curiosity.
Because according to Dr. Paa, that the science and technology are the frontiers of national
Yeah, the
development.
frontiers. Oo.
No, but curiosity doesn't only call for the sciences, for the hardcore sciences, but also for the social sciences or soft sciences. You know, because for us to get the answers, all we have to do is to sometimes ask. And for us to invent something, we just have to be curious about our surroundings. For us to know more about ourselves, we must self-evaluate and ask questions about ourselves.
Yeah.
To be curious, not just about your neighbors or whatnot or other people's lives,
Right.
but for our surroundings as well and for ourselves as well.
True.
So, what's your word to ponder?
I get it from MC, it's ethics or ethos,
Ethics.
no? Because of course the advancement of science and technology is wild. I mean, jumping from early 2000s and now forward 2023, much has really changed. But I think there's one thing that should not change: our commitment to a lot of ethical considerations. And at the end of the day, as much as we want to improve our lives through science and technology, we must respect, of course, life itself.
Yeah.
Animals coexist with them, and more importantly, we do not lose that sense of humanity in us. So I think that's very much important. All right, so on that note, daghan kayong salamat for joining our episode tonight. See you next week. God bless, and to God be the glory. Hey there, Sillimanians and friends of Silliman around the world. This has been another episode of #Silliman. Daghan kayong salamat for joining our episode. Continue to support our online platform, especially our Facebook page. It's called #Silliman. Like, share, and comment on your favorite episodes. We also have a YouTube channel. It's called #Silliman. Don't forget to click the notification bell for you to be updated with our recent posts. Kids.
And catch us at Phil Products Channel 6 every Monday at 8 p.m. Replays will be shown every Tuesday before the noontime news and every Saturday after the noontime news. This has been Ronelyn by Vailoces-Not.
And Joshua Soldivillo, Kids next week, only here on
#Silliman.
Bye!